Tonight we're following developing news out of Chollas Creek. A manhunt underway for a man accused of shooting a police officer in broad daylight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Jesse Pagan. Right now, that officer shot is expected to recover. He was taken to Mercy Hospital with a gunshot wound to the arm. But police say the gunman is still on the loose, armed and dangerous tonight. Tonight, our team coverage starts with Richard Allen live in Chollas Creek with the latest on the search for the gunman. Richard.
And at this hour, the lockdown on this neighborhood has finally been lifted, but the search for the suspect continues, shifting from a tactical operation to an investigative one overseen by the homicide unit, which is standard protocol for an officer-involved shooting. Now, the shooting took place this morning inside a nearby apartment complex, and as you can see, there is still a very active scene behind me. At one point during this methodical search for the suspect, flashbangs and pepper balls were used to roust a man inside a nearby homeless encampment, with hooks used to try to pull up a tent in the hopes of locating the shooter.
And we're doing an extremely thorough search here in the area to locate the suspect.
The continuing search led to several blocks of this Chollas Creek neighborhood being placed on lockdown as hundreds of officers scoured the area on foot, in cars and in the air, using drones and a copter trying to pinpoint the suspect's location.
We want to make sure that, you know, if he is in this area, that he's located, and if he's not, that we're confident we've done everything we could to locate him if he was still here.
At one point, one man was detained for questioning as this investigation continues.
The goal here is rapid apprehension.
Investigators tell us this massive manhunt started shortly after 11 this morning when the officer, on patrol by himself, spotted a truck that had been reported stolen a couple days back. When the officer tried to pull him over, the driver bolted out of the truck and ran off into a nearby apartment complex. When the officer ran after him, the man pulled out a firearm and shot, hitting the officer in the arm. No shots were fired at the suspect.
If someone will do this to an officer, what will they do to the public?
The officer was rushed to Scripps Mercy in Hillcrest and is expected to be okay.
We're very fortunate today in that our officer is going to be okay, but it's just a reminder of how dangerous things can be.
Extremely dangerous. Now, police tell us that this officer has been on the force for about a year now. Authorities are also urging anyone with possible information on this case to contact San Diego Police or San Diego Crime Stoppers. And remember, you can do so anonymously. Jesse and Carlo?
Richard, so people can help, have we seen any more here? Do we have any surveillance video of the gunman or any description at this point?
Well, at this point, police have not released any surveillance pictures or video, and they've only given us a very vague description of the suspect. A bald Hispanic man in his 30s, about 5'8", 150 pounds, wearing a gray sweatshirt at the time. Now, that said, police are urging nearby residents and businesses to check their own surveillance cameras, door cameras, ring cameras, that sort of thing, to see if they may have captured anything this morning. And if you do have anything that could be valuable to police, definitely contact them. Carlo?
All right, Richard Allen kicking off our coverage tonight on this lead story, developing all through the afternoon and evening. Richard, thank you. Now let's turn to CBS 8's Rocio Larafé. She joins us live near the scene as well with more on how the community is responding and how people caught in the middle of all this had to go about their day. Rocio?
Yeah, well, right now the area is relatively calm and quiet, but hours ago was a completely different scene behind me. It looked like a scene straight out of a movie. There was a massive police presence, and the area where I'm currently standing, it's a parking lot at a shopping center along University Avenue. It was filled with dozens of families, many of them with young children waiting for the chance to be able to cross the street and go back home.
It's pretty crazy. Really crazy.
People living and working along University Avenue in Chollas Creek say they were stunned to find out an officer was shot in the area this morning.
This is something crazy to me. I'm actually shocked, actually.
It's just kind of weird for this to happen today, this morning.
People who live here were urged to stay away and shelter in place while officers search for the gunman. Some people I spoke to say they waited for hours before being allowed to leave.
I was waiting to go home.
A few blocks away, frantic parents picked up their kids from school.
We were just told that the children were on lockdown and that we were just supposed to wait. We're a little nervous. I got the police scanners up, so I'm just trying to listen and just find out more information what's going on.
Some neighbors I spoke to say they're shocked over what happened in what they describe as a normally calm and family-oriented part of the city.
We've never had a problem. We've never had a problem in this vicinity of the area. No problem at all. None whatsoever. So it's unfortunate this happened.
Normally, just it's quiet. Everybody's either at work or at school, or the kids is outside playing. It's not really a lot of violence in this area. It's very quiet.
But others tell me crime has been an issue, and they want to see police step in.
There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of people experiencing a lot of desperate situations. I live next to a homeless encampment down by the creek, and I just try to keep everything locked and secure and hope for the best. The city can help where they can.
For now, the community is hoping the injured officer recovers quickly.
Hopefully he's okay and he's recuperating, and hopefully he could be back tomorrow doing his job.
Now, good news for drivers and those who live and work in the area. University Avenue has since been reopened. Back to you.
Rocio, as you said, university's back reopened. We do still see some police behind you. Are there still people trying and waiting to go home at this point?
No, good news for many of the people who we saw waiting earlier in that video. A lot of them have been able to go home. In fact, there's no one here left right now at this moment. And I actually did see, prior to us coming on here, some people coming back, being able to pick up their cars and finally make their way home.
Good news for those people, but we can see still a very active police scene. Rocio De La Fe. Thanks, Rocio. We've been following this developing story throughout the day and will continue to follow it as we learn more. You can follow the latest developments on CBS8.com or by following us on social media.